Mike, the Eagles just keep getting more and more interesting. They win by 28 points on Sunday, and yet there's a circus atmosphere with this team. They now have 4 quarterbacks.
Other stuff going on kind of puts the final score of the game in the shadows.
Yeah, you sort of forget about that. McNabb gets hurt. Not his fault. He scores a touchdown, and I think it was a late hit.
Dirty play. No question about it. It was one of those plays that you kind of see a lot where a guy kind of falls on the pile after a tackle. But this was way after. He was well in the end zone. It was a dirty play, and it should have been flagged.
Look, King Kong Bundy getting a running start and jumping on him.
I love the pro wrestling references.
Thanks. I'm not even a wrestling fan anymore. But it's one of these things where now they got to see Kevin Kolb, and he didn't look very good. And they had this typical excuse, he didn't get the reps in practice. Well, why don't you let your backups play a little bit before? I think that's just this built excuse they have. Deep down, these coaches must have known Kolb's not the answer because they just signed Jeff Garcia.
Right. And
I sort of like as a quarterback. What do you think?
I've always liked Jeff Garcia. Now, he is getting old, and obviously he was looking for a gig, so it's not like it's not like he's at the top of anybody's list, but I've always thought he was underrated. I've always thought he was an efficient, effective quarterback who is well suited to the way the Eagles play offense.
I think so. There are a lot of Eagles fans in the past who thought they should have kept him and not let him get away when he signed with Tampa Bay.
Right, sure.
And here's a dilemma that comes up. He wanted out of Oakland. He didn't want to back up Jamarcus Russell. I don't blame him. So Oakland cut him loose. He's not going to want to back up Kevin Kolb. I think if he's here, he's going to see his playing time as soon as he's ready to go.
I think he might be your Eagles starting quarterback on Sunday.
I think he could because he knows the offense, and it's not going to change too much. He's a smart guy. Now, to get a roster spot for him, because they've got 4 quarterbacks now, Vic, Kolb, Garcia, and McNabb, who'd they cut?
Well, they put on injured reserve, to be precise,
yes.
Sean Andrews, who has been a 2-time All-Pro offensive tackle, has mental problems, emotional problems, physical problems, might be at the end of the line, which is really a shame because he's a very talented NFL player, but just can't get himself in the right place to play football.
I used the term cut, and that was the wrong term, but I almost feel like this is a cut. This is the end of his era with the Eagles.
It might be. It might be. Yeah, it really might be. And there's no doubt. I mean, Andy Reid said today he's done for the year.
It will give Sean Andrews more time to get his Michael Phelps on. That's the good thing out of this, Mike. That's about the best I can find. It's a shame. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler and very gifted at run blocking. I mean, he gets out there in the open field and
he can really play.
It's just the plan didn't work out. You and I were talking. The Eagles just have not been lucky with some of these moves.
Yeah, they really have. If you look at where they were at, we've talked about this before. If you look at where they were at coming out of the draft, and then you look at the things that have happened to them from then to now, I mean, they really have had some brutal things happen and really unlucky things happen. But, a 20.8-point win is a 28-point win, and they're 1-0, and, just go play and see what happens, I guess. But strange days indeed.